Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Queen's Wish 2. So, last time we started clearing up some of the minor issues of the area, defeated the last remaining raiders and some swamp naga that was causing trouble, and while my explorer's instincts are telling me to just head into some of these random missions, I am going to follow the game's advice and guidance and actually head for the town of Lascara to, get official permission, I suppose. Official permission to travel the lands of the Row, even if it's just a formality. And of course, also hoping to unlock some side quests, maybe for some of these random missions that we don't currently have any particular reason to go to. You are at the base of a pair of huge stone pillars flanking an ancient stone road. A nearby sign identifies this north-south path as the Pilgrimage Road. Ah, yes, the most southern part of it, I guess. The main roadway cutting all the way through the Rokaj. You absorbed enough of your schooling to know a little bit about the geography of the Row. If you go north from here, you can reach the three other provinces of the Rokaj: the Cronus Woods, the Low Daga, and the High Letha. Yes. Right. Yeah, I suppose they are all connected. Well, I mean, technically we're just... Yeah, okay. Heading straight into the High Letha, but there are ways into the Low Daga and the Cronus Woods from there, or before that, actually. And then technically there are also the Aram Peaks that no one ever mentioned specifically. I'm not sure. I mean, they're treated as their own separate area, so I guess they're not really part of any of the three major provinces. But clearly they are going to be the site of the end game here. But, well, that's going to be for much, much later in the game. Lascara, Pilgrimage Road, yep. The road is patrolled by a band of Rokaj warriors. They are all people of the Gentle Coast. They are not the wild savages they imagined back in Haven. They have shiny imported armor and show every sign of being trained by Haven. They are very alert. The recent raids have enraged them, and they are ready to kill. When you approach and they see who you are, they step off the road to let you pass, or as you pass. Oh, nice of them. Who are you people? Are you just farmers, I guess? Could you stop? Okay. Cannot talk to you. You're not important enough, I guess. Or I'm too important. Near Lascara. Oh, this is not actually Lascara proper. Maybe. You enter a large Havenite military encampment. A large portion of the 7th Army is camped here. There are long rows of tents dotted with cooking fires and protected by a huge wooden fortification. This camp has been here for a long time. The feet of generations of soldiers have carved ruts in the roads. When you are recognized, you are welcomed in with great ceremony. Soldiers line up to gawk at you with salute as you explore. There is great tension in the air, but also enthusiasm. You're furious about the recent raids. They are furious about the recent raids and the attacks on Sutter and you, and they are waiting for the order to march out and bust heads. Well, okay, let them do it then. What do I need to do? I mean, okay, I'm technically supposed to be on a diplomatic mission. Yeah, I know. Still, there is going to be a lot of head busting in my future, I'm sure. Oh well, look around, find out who's in charge. I probably should do that first. The commander of the 7th Army in the Row is General Angak, or something like that. The general is currently staying in Lascara, not far to the north. Ah, okay. Good to know. Look around. There are thousands of fine Havenite soldiers here. Since the great uprising of the Rokaj a century ago, Haven has always kept a powerful force here. It has sent an effective message to the Row, keeping them under control until now. Yeah. Surprising that with such a large garrison here, the raiders were able to, well, dared to, and were able to, do their raiding this relatively nearby, right, just across the river. But okay. Get food and drink. I mean, sure, just out of courtesy. You have earned a reputation in Haven as a wild spirit, and the soldiers are eager to spend time with you. You're able to eat, drink, and trade stories of battle for as long as you want. You bid goodbye to the soldiers and move on. You're free to explore the area as much as you wish. There is a powerful force here, ready to fight for Haven. You suspect they are more than competent to handle the Rokaj. They have before. The question is, will a war be necessary? Right, that's the question. And of course, I hope the answer is no. Ah, so the actual town is here. Alright, from here you get a good view of the Rokash city of Lascara. Considering the Row's reputation as a wild, lawless place, Lascara looks sort of dull. It looks like any of the hundreds port cities in the Empire. Ships sail in and out carrying food, building materials, and precious goods. One odd detail does stand out. Lascara used to have tall stone walls. The aging remains of those walls are still there, overgrown with brush. Nobody is making any effort to repair them. Yeah, I was going to comment on how it doesn't have a city wall, which seems odd, but okay. I mean, I know the Row are by treaty, I guess, not allowed to have any fortifications. And obviously, at least here, down here in the peaceful, gentle coast, they are obeying that treaty. You enter the port city of Lascara, the Rokar's portal to the outside world. You've toured a lot of affluent cities like this with Sutter over the last year, but this one immediately stands out as strange. The Rokash is thought of as a land of brutal, barbaric warriors. Lascara is a city of people who dress up as brutal warriors. The people here are wealthy, and their the leather jerkins and jagged blades are all carefully made and very stylish in their way. The city has or had defensive walls. They have been left to crumble into ruin. Lascara is wealthy enough to repair them, but for some reason they don't. They are a depressing eyesore in what could be a lovely city. Yeah, I mean, why don't they just remove the remains? Do they like to have them around to remind themselves of their past? But it seems like they pretty much embraced their new role as, you know, I don't know, Haven's favorite part of the Row, and, you know, enjoying the benefits of modern civilization. Well, we'll probably learn more about this very shortly. As you pass, the guards and townsfolk look at you with awe and respect. After a bunch of Row try to murder you in your quarters, it is a jarring change. Well, I mean, obviously, there was a group of extremists, and these are just normal people, so it really should not come as a surprise that not all of them are bloodthirsty murderers. Has Haven returned? We were never gone, lady. I mean, maybe technically, but... Hello? Lascara and Erodico. The sign outside said that this building was for the Erodico. Oh, okay, that's what it meant. Looking around at the arcane machinery and materials in this room, you now know what that means. Mages. They are everywhere, practicing their strange arts and engaging in mad experiments. Of course, as mages do. As expected, the Erodico are like mages everywhere, except they approach their art in the way of the Rokaj, with limitless enthusiasm, no self-reflection, and non-existent safety procedures. So really, just like mages everywhere. Can we now talk to you? Nope. Lascara Erodico, okay. Surely there's going to be someone here. Ah, Crafter Homace. Most of the researchers, sages, and wizards here avoid you. You suspect that the Erodico are not a social bunch, and dealing with royalty is not in their skill set. The oldest among them happily shows a sense of hospitality. He approaches you wearing his least stained robe. Ah, a Havenite. Haven has not honored the Erodico with a visit in a long time. I am Crafter Homace of the Gentle Coast. I will be polite to you. Oh, that's nice. Tell me about the Erodico. We are the learners of the Rokaj. We study magic. We watch the stars. We expand science. We bring power to the warriors. Alas, we are in decline. We can show you how we are, but not how we were. Okay. What is this science you speak of? Is that not a common term in this world? It is the study of the ways of the world when not touched by magic. How they move, stay still, live, die. It is an obscure field of study. I suppose it would be in a world where magic is just a common thing, right? Interesting. But we trade letters with other vessels. Science? How odd. There was nothing of this in your studies back in Sharyn's palace. Typical Rokash eccentricity, yeah. I mean, who needs science when they have magic, right? So you can teach me new powers? That's what I'm reading here. The Erodico do expand the arts of war, but that work mainly takes place in our main tower on the Pilgrimage Road. We do have a book on the arts of war in Lascara. You can read it in the Rasas Hall. Okay, I'm gonna do that then. How are you in decline? The Erodico has been the refuge for the more thoughtful young Rows since recorded history. However, we decline when outside oppressors conquer us. In those times, we feed on the ideas of others instead of making them ourselves. Some of the Row want to drive us out. So I've heard. I do not approve. The Erudico is my life, but war is bad, and I would prefer it is avoided. Reasonable. I guess that's it. Wait, no, never mind. Where's the main outpost of the Erudico? Apparently in a tower on the Pilgrimage Road. Yes, the Tower of the Erudico is north of here, resting on the Pilgrimage Road. They would be highly honored if you visited. Oh, I definitely will. They are masters of all sorts of crafts, even some unknown outside of our land. I'm sure that they would love to show off. What sort of crafting do they do? The Rokaj produces many materials with innate magical properties: amber, crystals, quicksilver, and deep metal. This, combined with secrets we have learned, can be used to expand knowledge and create powerful tools of war. Intriguing. You say that you gain knowledge here. In a small way. We mostly absorb knowledge brought in through the docks, evaluate it, and pass it on. This is a small and humble outpost. We also send out scavengers to look for knowledge that has been lost. With all our raids and wars, lots of things get lost in the chaos. Any particular lost knowledge you're looking for? What a fortunate coincidence that you asked. I have been sending scavengers to some old Erudico ruins to the east. Oh, really? Will we have a conflict here? Who to bring any tomes and scrolls to that we find? I mean, I suppose our first, our first and foremost duty is to Haven, of course. So, if there is a conflict, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to deliver them to our own scholar. But well, if there isn't, and if they're looking for different kinds of knowledge, then all the better. Anyway, to the east, right? We have been trying to recover old writings from there for some time. Look for intact books in the ruined library. We offer a bounty for them, precious lore of our own that might be of great value. Okay. Well, we'll see. Sage Harlan, was it? Asked for a relatively small number of very specific books, and I guess if we find any others that are not on his list, we can safely deliver them to Homes and maybe some of his colleagues. Okay. Where are the ruins exactly? In the easternmost reach of the gentle coast. Go north, then east across 2 rivers. Then look for the Deadland. Deadland, huh? I mean, we've seen that, of course. Why were these ruins abandoned? Not enough Erudico to study there. They were left behind a century and a half ago. Our learned students were leaving to study in Haven instead of work there. Yeah, okay. What sort of dangers might I find there? Alas, Erudico towers are often abandoned in haste. A few pests might have been left behind. Others might have snuck in, attracted by the raw magic left behind. Just pests, though. Nothing that can threaten you. No, of course not. Okay. Well then. Quest get. Oh. I see. Across the row is just... I see. So that there are different categories. Categories for each of the regions, and then stuff that is literally across the entire row. Gotcha. I mean, they could have just... Well, yeah. I don't know how many side quests there are going to be eventually. So I guess there might be a large number, and sorting them like that might make it more manageable. But, yeah. Rather than just cramming them all into the across the row category. So, fair enough. Right. Okay, well, there we go. Already picked up a quest for one of these areas. That's promising. Good start for sure. Just gonna quickly take a look upstairs. Oh, hello. Another named person. Unexpected. There's a young scholar standing at this table, poking at an old crumbling text. He seems calm at first. Then you see the slight tremble of his hands. He says in a very soft voice, I am Erud Scaris. I only need a moment. Okay. Guess I'll give him a moment. What's the problem with him? I'd like to know more about the Erudico. My request. Granted. In time you will learn what you need to learn. Okay. I mean, we literally cannot do that, though. I mean, the game doesn't offer me an option to just wait. Oh, hi there. Don't mind if I do. There does not seem to be a concept of stealing. So, I might as well do it. The Erudico. The Erudico are the highest defenders of the row principle of knowing. If every row's mind is a mountain, the Erudico live at its base and never depart. They seek only to improve the science and knowledge of the Rokaj. The row have a long history of study and scientific advancement. The intensity of their learning ebbs and flows. When the Rokaj is occupied by a foreign land, there is less learning. When they are free, study and research begins anew. After 2 centuries of being a vassal state of Haven, the Erudico are but a faded sect. Most of the new knowledge of the Row enters through the ports of the Gentle Coast. Most of them are holed up in the tower of the Erodico, in the heart of the Rokaj, where they tinker and dream of past glories. The Erodico free themselves as much as possible from the burdens of life and belief. They create and invent. Then they leave it to the other Row to adapt their creations to the world and Row beliefs. The mental and emotional detachment of the Erodico can seem very strange. Okay. Now seriously though, what's up with this guy? He stares down at the book. At first you thought he was standoffish, then you realize that your presence terrifies him. Should we... I mean, if we realize that we really shouldn't talk to him. What did you want to say? The Erodico needs to talk to an outsider. Things are... It's hard to say. I have a message. Oh, mysterious. And the message is? Erud Fa'alis, in the Tower of Erodico, the heart of our order. To know one's enemies is to know oneself. Okay. Very profound, yes. No, that is what you are to say to him. To let him know I talk to you. Sorry, I'm very new at all this. Also, I don't want to be killed. Killed by whom? The best killers of the Row. I'm so exposed out here. So it's a passphrase. Yes, to know one's enemies is to know oneself. I saw you arrive. I know you are the one to choose. Say the phrase to Fa'alis, and he'll know too. Okay, good. Good thing I persisted and actually talked to him. This is all very odd. I mean, it is. But, okay. I mean, I was going to talk to this Fa'alis eventually, but I guess without the passphrase. So, a good thing I did talk to this guy here, even though I might have gotten him into danger by talking to him, but, well, can't be helped now. If I get the chance, I will talk to Fa'alis, yes. I thank you. It will be worth your time. Good for Haven, too. That is all I have to say. I will be gone soon. Alive, I hope. Please go. Okay, good. I was thinking that maybe he had some sort of mental issue or, just anxiety. Certainly not a stranger to that myself, so, I would have understood. Can we open that? Yes. But nope, it was just a request. Alright, awesome. In fact, it's also a crossroad, the Harvester. Huh? There's a struggle going on in the Rokaj. The secret of a powerful magical weapon has been discovered. Okay, how do we know that? I feel like the game is getting a little bit ahead of itself here. Multiple forces are competing to control it. This is exactly the sort of thing Haven needs to know about, especially in a time of rebellion. Okay. Set me on the path. Yeah, but he did not mention the weapon, and, arguably it shouldn't be mentioned in the quest description here, spoiling what this is all about. But oh well. Lascaran guard, worker, unimportant people, not worth my time. Melwyn, on the other hand, is certainly, obviously important. You meet a young man, barely an adult. He looks small and nervous in the expensive ceremonial armor and weaponry of the Gentle Coast. He gives you a brief, twitchy bow, then when you approach. Hello, Prince Atantuo. I'm Melwyn. Hello. What do you do here? I am an assistant to Rasa Elha. I do what I can to help. Fetch things, watch, listen. My father wants me to try to be a Rasa someday, to keep the position in the clan, so I'm here. He doesn't seem particularly ambitious. Oh, okay. Tell me about Rasa Elha. Oh, she's from our clan. She's a great leader, and she knows a lot of magic, though she doesn't show it off. She's a real warrior. There aren't many of those in the Gentle Coast. There doesn't need to be, though. Not when we have Haven. Well, you're a wealthy clan. Yes, wealthy and influential. One of the best in the Gentle Coast. Rasa Elha says it is because of Haven. Their influence changes us, civilizes us, makes us wealthy, she says. And that is why we have so much power. Okay. What do you think of Haven? I have met very few Havenites. You don't send many envoys here. Haven't for a long time. But you do bring us trade, lots of money, lots of precious goods. I see them all come in. Haven brings us a lot of things. He's growing uncomfortable. Talking to a prince does that to a lot of people. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'll be going then. Hope there wasn't anything more important to be learned from that. Okay, you approach the Hall of the Rasa of the Gentle Coast. Here you will meet a leader of the Rokaj. You've never taken part in diplomacy like this on your own, have I not? Haven't I met with all kinds of local leaders back in Sacramentum? How is this so different? You sense for a moment all of the lives that depend on the decisions you make, or don't make. And then the royal symbol of the Prince of Haven appears on your shoulder, placed there by your mother's magic. It will appear there It will appear there no matter what you wear. If you strip naked, it will be a tattoo on your skin. Okay. When on official business, your mother insists that the mark of your identity be visible wherever you go. It can be incredibly irritating. Yeah, also potentially harmful if I, might have some reason to stay incognito. Okay, the Drunken Dagon. Circle of the Rasa, and over here we have the trading hall apparently. Okay, I do want to just quickly finish looking around, as I normally do, just to see what else there might be to see. Haven Hall, okay. You look around the docks of Lascara. By the standards of the rest of Haven, this is a small and outdated facility. For the Rokaj, this is their main portal to the outside world and the source of their wealth. The road does produce goods of some value: quicksilver, fine wood, precious ember, gemstones. They leave through here in return for the crafts and knowledge of the rest of Haven. How much of that wealth manages to make it into the mountains to the north remains to be seen. Yeah, probably not a whole lot. Okay. Oh, Dockmaster, right. Gonna talk to you right now, actually. The Dockmaster of Lascara is working his trade, directing the workers and making notes about the shipments. Sometimes he breaks up a fight among drunken sailors. His expensive fancy-studded armor and rapier aren't much for fighting, but the sailors aren't hard to handle. When he sees you, however, all other business is set aside. He runs up and bows. "I heard that you arrived, Prince. I am Dockmaster Nanash. Honored to meet you. All of the wealth of the row passes through this port, and it is all thanks to Haven." Right. What does the Dockmaster do? Keep order, keep the goods flowing, make sure nothing gets smuggled, and collect customs and duties, and send the right message. I give civilized greetings to visitors, to show that the Rokaj is a proper nation. That is the gift my province gives to the row. Customs and duties? Everything that travels through this port has a tax on it. Gold that goes to keep the port open and safe. Keeping a place like this running isn't free. The Gentle Coast is wealthy because of this trade, and we earn it. The Gentle Coast's gift to the row? If it wasn't for our port and our trading and our civilization, the Rokaj would be poor, hungry, violent, and desperate. But does the Low Daga thank us? Does the Cronus Woods acknowledge our value? Does the High Letha appreciate it? No, they mock us, call us weaklings, while we sustain them. Yeah, well... civilized greetings. First-time visitors to the Rokaj are scared. They think we're all wild madmen swinging swords around. When I'm the first row they meet, they know that they are trading with honorable, courteous, civilized folk. And the raids? A temporary difficulty. We will find the raiders and stack their heads on the dock pilings. Yeah, okay, we could do that. Not sure if that is absolutely necessary. When our visitors see the skulls, they'll know the Rokaj will be a civilized place once more. Right. Yeah, I think you might still have a little bit to learn, perhaps. But you're on the right path, I'm sure. Okay, so how are things in the Gentle Coast? Not good, as you well know. Raiders have been coming down from the highlands. Some tried to kill you. Others took over mines and forts. It's a horrible insult. They could cause a war. We'll make them pay, be sure of it. Right, do all the goods of the Rokaj flow through this port? Not quite. Regular trade comes through here, supplies to Haven's forces enter through Port Osborne. Or they did. That port was taken by raiders. Now Haven's goods come through here, and it makes everything slower. There's a way some warrior could help Haven here. Oh, really? Help Haven how? Go to Port Osborne and retake the captured docks. Wait, we already did that. I was wondering why we didn't mention that immediately, or how he didn't know already. Okay. Can I... we'll see. More importantly, you can recover the lost contracts. Oh, only now am I supposed to actually go there and rummage through some of those previously useless chests. Okay, fair enough. Papers we can use to determine what you have paid for. If you can recover those contracts for me, I can use them to get precious supplies for you. Just a thought. Okay. Why did you just give me the supplies? The contracts are still at the port. Well, I mean, presumably yes. Let's just cut to the chase. Where are the contracts hidden? I don't know, unfortunately. They should still be in the port. I don't think that the raiders would want them. Well, I mean, they were looking for all kinds of documents, but of course we killed them all before they had a chance to leave with anything of any importance. So, okay, a new quest. Did not expect another quest to take place in Port Osborne, and I really hope that clearing it beforehand didn't make this impossible to complete, but I mean, surely that's not going to be the case. That would be most unfortunate and, yeah, just very unlikely. Ingrian, hello. Crafter Lure. Let's talk to the person with the less unpronounceable name first. This woman easily stands out in the prosperous city of Lascara. Her leather jerkin is dirty and shows the signs of hard travel. Her hair is chopped unevenly and her hands are calloused. When she looks at you, she is curious, but she knows no awe. Okay. Hello, Havenite. I am Ingrian. I'm a trader from the Cronus. I am waiting for a shipment to be readied. I have a moment if you want to learn. Sure, always want to learn. You say you are from the Cronus? The Cronus Woods, north and west. The most beautiful of the provinces of the Row. We are wrapped in our forest, and it makes us strong. Now that she's talking to you, you note that she looks over her shoulder frequently. She tries to hide her nervousness, but she can't disguise it from you. Okay. Well, we're kind of used to that, so... tell me about your forest. It is a living thing, in a way that other woods are not. The whole forest is one mind speaking to us through our groves. We feed and protect our woods, and they shelter us. Her voice lowers to a whisper. You can barely hear it. Haven has been working at it for years, and we have withstood it. We hope the Cronus can survive your wisdom. Okay. Careful about your words there, although, you know. You seem ill at ease. I know who you are. I know that some fools tried to murder you. They got what they deserved. The Cronus is strong and proud, but we are not fools. We do not want war with Haven. Okay. You're scared of war? She sits up straight. We are scared of nothing. Yeah, again, another instance of the game giving me only one dialogue option, and obviously it was a stupid one, but what can I do? Just stop talking to her? We are scared of nothing, but war brings fires. Soldiers tramped through our forest, hurting it. When the Great Uprising happened, much of our woods were burned. It took many years to repair the damage. Right. What brings you to the Gentle Coast? I'm our clan's leader. Trader. I organize caravans. I come here, I barter. Sell our iron and amber for what we need. I also check in on our clan's claim in the Gentle Coast. Oh, okay. I feel another quest incoming. What do you think of the Gentle Coast? She looks at the other traders, the wealthy locals with their finery and their mostly useless weapons. They are Rokash, like us. They bring wealth. They keep the outsiders happy. I see no reason to hate them. Her words seem peaceful, but her eyes are cold. She has no love for them. Well, there's a difference between hating someone and having no love for them. You seem underdressed for the city. Again, a thing I wouldn't necessarily point out, but, well, I'm sure it's going to lead to something useful. Yes, my clothes are simple and crude. The Cronus Wood are full of simple folk, not like the enlightened, beautiful folk of the coast. We should feel lucky to have them to guide us and show us our flaws. Yep. So what was that about your looking after your claims, though? Oh, okay. Cannot follow up on that, so never mind. Worker. Nameless. Unimportant worker. Another locked door that I'm not sure I'm ever gonna be able to open, but that's fine, I guess. Okay. Well, then let's talk to you, whose name I'm not even going to pronounce, to try to pronounce anymore. This elderly man is native Row, but he is wealthy and fancy. He wears fur garb and a sword at his belt, but they are all stylish, expensive, and completely unaffected by any sort of combat. He smiles and bows deeply. Welcome, Prince of Haven. I'm so honored by your visit. I'm Crafter, trader of luxury goods. It is always a delight to be visited by envoys from civilized lands. Okay. I would like to trade with you, I guess. Of course. Alas, I tend to deal with raw materials in bulk. Still, we have a few finished objects that might be of value in your journey. Yeah, I'm also actually kind of interested in some raw materials, perhaps. Not sure how much I could buy. Specifically, quicksilver and iron, I guess. With 100 gold, but maybe? Well, it's not an option, of course, so... no such luck. Rose Sightblade. Plus 3 to physical damage. Heavy slash basic attack. Okay, wow. I mean, it doesn't have augment slots or rune slots, but that's a pretty powerful weapon. Which, of course, I cannot even afford, but okay. Might be worth considering. Although we're obviously going to find something good. Something equally good or better eventually. But who knows? Row bronze armor. Again, I guess all of these special items are not going to have any slots for augments. Row bronze helm. Well, obviously better than what we have right now. But also, yeah, everything is pretty expensive, so not really an option. I could buy an amethyst orb for Ray's offhand. Honestly, that's probably not a terrible idea. I wonder. I don't think our any of our shops back in the fort sell this kind of item, unless the alchemist maybe does. I mean, the woodcrafter who sells wands and staves does not sell offhand items, I'm pretty sure. Nor does the smith. And I guess it wouldn't make a lot of sense for the weaver to sell these. So maybe there just isn't a regular shop for these, but no, there must be. Maybe I just missed it. I probably just didn't pay very close attention. I wasn't specifically looking for them. I could buy one here, but I don't know. This strikes me as pretty expensive. It is exactly what she has, yeah. What the heck. There you go. Nice bit of extra protection and mental resistance, which is definitely useful. Alright, there you go. Don't need anything else. What sorts of things do you usually trade? The Rokaj makes raw materials and a few crafts that are much in demand in the more civilized lands of Haven. They're produced in the Savage Highlands, brought to our port and sent out to the world. What do the Highlands produce? Well, there are the mundane things, meat and stone and wood. Some of it is of high enough quality to deserve space on a ship. We also trade precious ancient ember, quicksilver and crystals, unique varieties of woods, all highly in demand from mages and craftsfolk throughout our empire. What do you get in return? The Rokaj is hungry for raw materials and new knowledge from all over our empire. We seek out precious metals, books of magical knowledge, and other things we have difficulty providing for ourselves. Okay, fair enough. Seems pretty normal. That's how trade between different nations and parts of the world tends to work. Okay, what was this again? Oh, the local inn, right. Another trader. Oh. Every proper city in our empire has an inn. Haven soldiers, merchants, and officials constantly roam your vessels and... Oh, in your empire. Well, yes, of course. Roam your vessels, and they need safe spaces to eat and sleep. Safe places, even. I just cannot read today. Oh well. Somewhere in this smoky hall, you're sure to find a bed you can use to rest. Not that we need to, but thanks, I guess. Trader Umista. There is a wiry, angry man with bronze skin standing in the middle of the inn. He's drunk and shouting. The other patrons, all locals, are doing their best to ignore him. The gentle coast is full of weaklings, he shouts. Useless weapons and no spines, always licking the shoes of Haven. He continues his ranting. At one point he says, I am Umista, a proud stonecutter of the Low Daga, and I won't bow to anyone, Haven or Row. Then he notices you. Say any of that to my face? I mean, he basically has been. Listen quietly. I don't see no reason to start a fight here. He looks you boldly in the eye. Then he grins. Much to the relief of the other patrons, he walks to a chair and sits opposite you. Have a seat, Haven. Drink some nice, thick, fermented milk. Enjoy the row until you abandon us again. You seem pretty angry. The Low Daga is an angry place. The rock and the winds bring it out of us. Some of us even become raiders, roaming the gentle coast and making big mistakes. Not me. Yeah, you make other kinds of mistakes, perhaps. I shouldn't be angry now, but these folks, their useless arms and armor, it brings the shouting out. Okay, at least you seem to have calmed down now. Well, he already told us what he thinks of the gentle coast, so it's kind of pointless to ask. Useless arms and armor. What do you think of Haven? I mean, yeah, we don't need to ask about any of these things. What's your problem? Raiders. The fools came out of the hills. Some of them attacked you. The rest stole from the weaklings of the gentle coast. And some of them, they took from my clan. They took our claim. Ah, okay. Now we need to find warriors who want stone. I'm interested in your stone. Well, We have a claim, a quarry. Some of us raiders saw it. Some of the raiders saw it. It was weak and grabbed it from us. I'm looking to pay someone to take it back. Looking for stone to remake your forts, Prince? We can provide it. Where is it? It's in the Gentle Coast, to the northeast, across 2 rivers. Some of my clanmates are there. They can explain what's happening. Okay, what's the exact problem there? Well, raiders, duh. Well, they are raiders, and cowwolves. That's what they wrote me. But it was a quick message, and they were leaving a lot out. They can tell you more. Then you can kill the invaders. That part, at least, should be simple. Yes, indeed. Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting to get a quest from this guy out of all people, but glad that I did talk to him. Reggie Gamak. Is Reggie another kind of title? There is a small man... a small... Okay, wow, I'm just making up words now. There is a young man of the Rose sitting at one of the inn's tables. He wears heavy wool clothes, dirty and worn from many miles on the road. His hair is a fiery red. There is a pile of small burlap sacks on the floor by his feet. He is a popular fellow. Local villagers, thin and hungry-looking, constantly enter. They speak with him and leave, and none of them go without one of his bags. They look like they contain grain, much-needed food for the poor of the row. When his work is finally done and the bags are mostly gone, he invites you to sit with him. For once in life, the mighty come after the poor. Come, noble envoy, and sit with Reggie Gamak. I welcome the company. Well, greetings to you. And to you, visitor of Haven. Your fame travels ahead of you. I would love to speak with you and learn more of the world. It won't keep me from my purpose. What is your purpose? I travel the lands of the Row and feed the hungry. There is no city in our mountains I do not visit, to bring a moment of hope to those who struggle. If you have a moment, I would love to tell you a story. It might teach you about our land. Okay. Happy to listen. First, how do you help the poor? A kind word and a day's supply of food. I can't save those who struggle, but I can give a moment to rest. I can give a moment to rest and take a breath. How do you know who's worth helping? Because they ask. The Row are proud. No true one among us would ask for aid unless it was truly needed. Sometimes a brigand tries to take advantage. When this happens, I can count on the townsfolk to deal with him. Okay. Where does the food you give away come from? Many donate to my cause. The rest comes from my own clan's farms and the Gentle Coast. What inspired you to this calling? He sighs. I was inspired by the lost. I do what they would have wanted. What she might still want. What? Inspired by the lost? To explain, I would have to tell you my tale. If you wish to hear it, you only need to ask. Sure. Tell me a story then. He nods and takes a deep breath. His smile fades from his face. It is a sad story. All strange, all true. It is why I spend so much time on the road trying to help those in need. It is the story of my sister, Sharyn. Tell me about Sharyn. She was a lovely, wonderful girl, quiet and strange, touched by spirits, some said. When she was young, they said she was simple, but we knew the truth. She spoke when she had something to say. Yet she was also charmed. She said truths others did not want to hear. She became skilled with herbs. She could calm an angry beast with a touch. Then our villagers changed. They no longer said she was simple. They said she was a witch. I mean, that's kind of an odd thing, kind of an odd stance in a world where magic is just commonplace. Magic and magical creatures. I suppose that does include witches, but I mean, I don't see how a witch is inherently a bad thing in a world like this, as opposed to our world where magic is, not a common occurrence. In fact, obviously doesn't really exist. So, I don't know, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I don't know, maybe the Row are different. Did she have magical powers? I don't know. I never will. I like to think that her spirit was so kind and good that it entered those around her. And the Gentle Coast shunned her. We are wealthy, cultured folk on the coast, but we are still Row. There are many old superstitions that remain. The rage of the Rokash is hidden, but it is still there. Okay. What happened to her? Reggie's voice becomes slow and grim. She was shunned, and she fled. She packed up and ran away in the middle of the night. Of course, the moment I found out, I packed my own supplies and went out hunting for her. It was the first of many journeys. Where did you find her? I mean, did you find her? He shakes his head. I didn't. I looked for a year. In the end, it was in the High Letha. Desperation drove me there. I was camped in the snow by the pilgrimage road. There, her Her ghost came to me. She was there, she smiled, and she gave me a message. What was her message? That she was at peace, that I should grieve and move on. He wipes his eyes with the back of his hand. And if I needed help not grieving, I should help the poor, help those who need it, in her name. Then she was gone. She gave me advice, I took it. Here I am. Wow, if you're done talking, I really have more important things to do. What kind of an absolute jerk would say that? Plenty of people, I guess. Not me, though. A sad story, but it's important for towns to drive out sinister witches. It's just good policy. Wow! And here I was thinking that was the evil option. Yikes. Do you know what happened to her? I mean, well, I would just thank him for the story, but maybe there's gonna be some more interesting dialogue in here. I mean, I'm sure there is. So, do you know what happened to her? She died. I don't know how. I don't want to know. I think the truth would break me. Have you spoken to her since? No. I hope her spirit is at rest. That is all I can do. Right. Thank you for the story. I'm glad you found time to listen. You see, I have reason to think her spirit may be restless. Since you traveled the Rokaj, I wanted you to know about her. You mentioned that Sarayn's spirit may be restless. Yes, I don't want to sound mad, yet in my travels I've heard rumors. The ghost of a woman with red hair. She stares at travelers, but she says nothing. I wonder if she's still out there in the cold, searching. Where was her ghost seen? In the peaks of the High Letha, wandering those cold, dead glaciers. What do you think she wants? I don't know. Well, when I have found her, how do I find you? In case I do find her. I can best be found in the inns. There is no city in which I'm a stranger. Okay. Well then, another quest acquired, I guess. Seems strange for a row. I mean, yeah, I guess. He frowns, and that is a strange thing to say. I help those who are in need. Why is that strange? That's it precisely. I mean, no, I don't want to say that. Never mind. Well, I guess we actually did ask about everything. Everything important, anyway. Okay. That's another one across the row, although technically we're supposed to head to the High Letha, I guess, according to his description. Right. Well, we'll see. It's probably just a story and there is no spirit to find. But, you know, just in case, I'm gonna keep my eyes open. Hello? Ajaya. Wow, we're not gonna be able to finish this town in one sitting, huh? And just a lot of people to talk to, and there are still at least, I mean, there's the main building left with the main event, and at least one other building, possibly more. But let's keep going. There's a middle-aged woman sitting alone in the side room of the inn. She slowly eats stew and sips steaming, herbal-smelling liquid from a pewter mug. When you enter, she looks you up and down, coldly analyzing you. Then she motions for you to join her. I am Ajaya. I am from the High Letha. I would speak with you. It may profit us both. Okay. Tell me about the High Letha. It is the highest province in the Rokaj. We live in the icy, rocky peaks. You wait for more. You get a lot of silence in return. You note that her garb is thick and warm, but ragged and stained. You suspect that her tunic has been passed down from generation to generation. That is not a lot of detail. We are high, and we see much. We keep the old ways of the Rokaj. When we start to go astray, the ghosts correct us. Sometimes we are asked to provide judgment. Yeah. I've heard that term a couple of times now. Judgment. What do you think of the gentle coast? She looks through the arch at the wealthy coast folk sipping imported wine, comparing their stylish weapons and armor, and generally laughing and having a good time. She shrugs. We have not been asked to judge them, so we don't. Okay, so ghosts, huh? Yes. Alright. I mean, you wanted to talk to me, apparently, so talk to me. What do you think of Haven? You are the reality. We must bend ourselves around you. Okay, a pragmatic and understandable approach. Alright, I need to meet the Rasa of the High Letha. Then you should go to the High Letha. Fair enough. Why are you in Lascara? I come to trade. The High Letha produces quicksilver. That which we don't use ourselves, we trade here. How do you get quicksilver? We dig the cinnabar out of the stone. The high mountains is where it is found. Then it is cooked to get the quicksilver. A little of the cooking takes place high up. Most happens in our claims in the gentle coast. The fuel we need is here. Okay. What do you use quicksilver for? It can be made into potions. Drinking the potions can bring clarity. Also madness, but, you know, a price to pay. See the world in a new way. Talk to the shades that guide us. Okay, I could use some quicksilver. Not necessarily for drinking, though. Yes, Haven needs it. Much of the Row's new wealth comes from the rocks. Rocks dug up by the humble folk of the High Letha. I can give you the quicksilver you need, if you help us. My clan has a claim in the gentle coast. There, the quicksilver is brought from the rocks. The claim has ghosts. They keep us from working. Free our claim, and you will be paid. Where is this workshop? Although I already know. Northeast of here, up against a wall of mountains. Cross one river. So the claim has ghosts. What should I do about them? There are High Lethans there. They can tell you more. Based on your experience with Ajaya, talking to them should be an absolute treat. Well, I mean, I kind of appreciate when people don't, you know, don't make any unnecessary conversation. Hello, random Laskaran. Okay. Whew, kind of relieved not to find any more people to talk to here, to be honest. Right, now we have basically quests for every single area, right? Yep. And yep, and yep. Of course there might be something here. There's definitely some room for it. Right, we even have a quest for an area that we've already been to. Wow. Okay, this is even more productive than I was hoping for. Ah, yes, okay, so it is only 2 more buildings. Right, and this one's pretty small, so let's see here. You enter the Haven Hall. It only makes sense that Haven would have a large embassy in this town. The place is a bit of a jumble. It has to serve as a site for diplomatic missions, a military headquarters, and an inn for travelers from outside the Row. Right now it is eerily quiet. Since you were attacked, merchants have been clearing out, spies have gone off to spy, and soldiers have been returning to the field to prepare for battle. I mean, there's also the huge military camp just outside town, so I'm not sure why they would need a military, another military headquarters here. Anyway, you hear shouting coming from upstairs. That is where the activity is. Okay, there's also a book here. The Gentle Coast. The Gentle Coast contains the southern lowlands of the Rokaj. It is a region with the warmest climate and the smoothest terrain. All of the best farmland in the Row is here. So are all the ports. All 2 of them, or 1.5. All trade and knowledge that the Row shares in comes through the ports here. Understandably, the Gentle Coast is the most prosperous, peaceful region of the Rokaj. It is also the area that is most in favor of the Row being a vassal state of Haven. Very few of the Row's finest warriors come from the Gentle Coast. It is a land of merchants, sages, and farmers. That has led to some mistrust between this placid region, and the higher, harsher lands. Some of the hard folk of the Inner Row think that the coast folk are weak, unprincipled, and untrue to the values of their land. Some of the people of the Gentle Coast think that the Inner folk are crude, ignorant, and should submit to the will of their betters. Well, and maybe neither of the 2 groups are necessarily correct. Okay. So there are some people here. Just no one of importance, I guess. You emerge upstairs into a large meeting hall. Soldiers are everywhere. Maps and plans are being consulted. The 7th Army is camped to the south, and your general is here. Ah, yes, of course, we were told that they were here. Forgot about that. Argag or something, was it? Well, we're going to talk to them momentarily. I guess that's them. Your general is here making plans. The Row attempted to kill 2 of Queen Sharyn's children. There is going to be a spectacular response. Well, we'll see about that. What form that response takes depends on your actions. When the general sees you, he waves. Welcome, Prince. I would beg a moment of your time. He sits at his desk in the northeast corner of the soldier, as soldiers scurry off in all directions to prepare. Right. General Angak. Right. Odd name, but okay. Locked? Not locked. Hello there. 29 silver coins. Thank you for your contribution. A guide to the resources of the Rokaj. To build up forts in the Rokaj, you will need wood, stone, iron, and quicksilver. Wood can be found in the southern regions of this mountainous land. To get iron, go west to the woods of the Cronus forest. It is mined from the hills there. To get stone, go east to the hills of the Low Daga. To get quicksilver, that most precious and unpredictable of substances, you must ascend to the icy, hostile High Letha. Or, actually, free a mine that's conveniently right here in the Gentle Coast. Hello there, General. The General of the 7th Army of Haven rises to greet you. He's exactly what you would expect for a general in the Rokaj. Tall, aging, grizzled, scarred. The veteran of many wars. In a land like the Ro, with a history of rebellion, this is the sort of man you want. He bows to you and says, "Welcome, Prince. I'm General Angak. I command our troops to the south. I assure you that we are ready for whatever comes, and please let me give you my deepest apology." Well, apologize to me for what? Well, yeah, obviously for not having troops stationed where they matter, apparently, to keep the raiders from invading unhindered. So, yeah, I know what he's apologizing for, obviously. He bows his head. The soldiers get very quiet. "We allowed the raids to form, and we allowed them to threaten you. It was an unforgivable mistake, and it won't happen again." "Apologies not accepted. You need to fix the problem." Wow. You are stripped of your rank immediately. I mean, can we do that? Do we have that kind of authority? I suppose we do. Wow. You are to be taken out and flogged. I think everyone is, everyone deserves a second chance. And obviously, there had been a long time of quiet and peace in this area, so no one could reasonably expect that kind of, that kind of sudden change. So, yeah. So long as he tries everything in his power to, prevent anything like that from happening again. Yeah. "Thank you, Prince. We are eager to deal some harsh discipline to the Rokaj. However, the Queen has instructed us to give you time to do your work. When it is time, we will be ready to strike. We'll make them pay." Right. Let's discuss the Rokaj. "Of course. I imagine you didn't plan to spend much time in this land of scoundrels. The Gentle Coast is nice. They've bought their share of luxuries. It's when you get up into the highlands, the hills and mountains, that you have to be paranoid." You don't sound fond of them. Angak thinks about this. "I've been here for 10 years, and I don't know if I like them or not. They are strong, they are brave. The Row of the Highlands can withstand anything. They are cheery and generous. I'm just never sure what they're about when they're about to slit my throat." Okay. Tell me about the Gentle Coast. "It's the Row's name for it, and I think they mean it as an insult. The coast is rich. It's made the people here soft. The Row of the Highlands hate them for it, but Haven protects them. Don't worry about this province. We are in control here." Well, you are now, maybe. Are you always paranoid?" "Of course. You always have to be with the Rokaj. After all, a century ago, everything seemed fine, calm and peaceful. Then the disaster happened." "What disaster?" "The Great Uprising. Overnight, the Row were slaughtering us in our beds. Haven put the rebellion down, of course, but it was a bloody affair. That's why we don't let the cities have proper walls anymore. Don't ever be complacent about the Row, and don't worry. We're ready to fight." Okay. Tell me about the Rasa. "I only ever deal with Rasa Elha. She's a sharp one. She's loyal to Haven, and she's a powerful mage. She controls the Gentle Coast well. Wish all the Rasas were like her. The rest of the Rokaj hates her." They hate her? "She's loyal to Haven. She believes the Rokaj is helped by being a vessel. Much of the rest of the Row sees us as conquerors and Rasa Elha as the lead collaborator." Understandable, I guess. What's the word from Haven? "We have our orders from the Queen. You are to follow orders and do diplomacy. Meanwhile, we prepare for war." "How are you preparing?" "Training, maintaining our gear, scouting, reviewing histories of the Great Uprising. The Row of the Mountains think that they are better than Haven. When the time comes, we will show them the true power that Haven can unleash." "Do you think Haven can beat the Rokaj in battle?" Before Angak can speak, your soldiers raise their arms and let out a wild, angry cheer. The general grins. "It will be hard and bloody, but they can't win against us. The only question is how much slaughter there will be." "Well, I'm gonna do my best to try and prevent all of it." "Yeah, how can war be prevented?" "By convincing the Rokaj to lay down their arms, make amends for the raid, and obey the treaty they signed with us. They have to submit. Now that they dare to raise arms against Prince Sutter and you, there is no other way." Right. What can I do specifically to prevent war? "Honestly, I don't know. You will have to do your diplomacy and talk to them. Maybe you can find a way. I wish you luck. We don't want to put this place to the torch, but we will if the Queen gives the order." Right. Okay. No quest out of you. Right? Yeah, no, I guess not. Okay. I mean, I specifically did not ask pick one of the dialogue options there, but I really hope that the game does not require me to say that in order to, unlock anything. I'm going to assume that it was optional. You enter the hall of Rasa Ella, finally, the leader of the Gentle Coast. Like the rest of Lascara, this chamber is a tasteful mix of Rokash savagery and cosmopolitan elegance. The clan leaders of the row meet here and sit on rough wood stools in a circle, sharing meat grilled over an open fire, according to tradition. But the wine is imported and expensive, and the decorations are stylish and tasteful, if outdated. The Rasa of the Gentle Coast is clad in finely cut furs, and a curved blade hangs at her side. Yet this portly middle-aged woman has not seen battle for a long time. Gold jewelry gleams on her fingers and around her neck. Rasa Elha notes the royal insignia on your shoulder. She slowly rises to meet you. Prince Atantuo, this is a great honor. Please come and join me in a meal. I'm Rasa Elha, and our city is at your disposal. Right, I've already had a good long look around. Nice place you have here. Rasa Elha motions for you to join her on the stools. Armed servants, of course, everyone's armed, come in to serve you tea, grilled meat and vegetables, and whatever other beverages you desire. Before business, she insists on showing you their humble hospitality. It's appreciated. Finally, she sets aside her plate and cup, sighs, belches, and says, "Thank you for your patience with row hospitality, honored prince. We can engage in proper ceremony now." She rises and bows. "I am Rasa Elha, honored leader of the Gentle Coast, and I welcome the Prince of Haven to its loyal vassal." Hi, I'm Atantuo. Let's try to be a little bit more formal. Yeah. And save any questions for later, I guess. I am Prince Atantuo of Haven. I greet you in the name of the Empire of Haven. I mean, we should have that kind of, basic diplomatic training, right? We should know the proper words to say, so it's only appropriate. She nods approvingly. You have a bit of a reputation as a rogue. Really? Is that all from the first game? Come on. But that was well spoken. She sits again. I guess maybe in the first game I might have tried the occasional, more flippant response. But I guess in a way that was also in line with role-playing because, we were very new back then. And, we had been enjoying a game of luxury and comfort until we were suddenly sent out, out into the field and into action. So, but obviously by now we are older and wiser and have actually learned a thing or two. And I guess I'm gonna reflect that in my dialogue choices, as far as the game allows me. Anyway, now at last we can come to business. We have a lot of it, I'm afraid. Okay, well, guess this is gonna be a little bit of a longer episode, although, well, we'll see. I've been sent on a diplomatic mission by the Queen. Rasa Elha nods. She clearly had already heard about this. A full diplomatic mission from Haven. It has been a long time since we had such attention. Very long. The leader of the Gentle Coast is a matronly figure. It's hard to imagine how she became a ruler of a warrior land, even in a tame place like Lascara. Then, when she finds her tea too cold, she waves her fingers over it, and in a moment it is steaming again. Her raw power doesn't come from her blade. Yes. These things have a traditional process, of course. Things that must be done. I imagine your general in Fort Meadow 4 was provided by the Queen to guide you. Yes, they were. You seem to know all that is about to happen. Rasa Elha gives a little shrug, sips some tea, and belches slightly. The backward provinces of the road don't care for these diplomatic formalities. Only the more civilized people of the Gentle Coast recognize their importance. Okay, so what happens now? Now, customarily, you ask me, as Rasa, if I have any petitions for our masters in Haven. In other words, is anything wrong? Are there any problems that we can't fix on our own? Do we need your help? To which I say, officially, the Gentle Coast has no petitions for Haven. None at all. Okay. I mean, obviously, she did say that is the official version. I would like to respond to that, but nope. Really? No demands? None at all. The Rokaj has tried to make itself a problem for Haven. The Gentle Coast will not be a part of that problem. This includes the petitions. You may report to our cooperation to General Miranda. Haven needs to know who is on your side. Oh, really? Okay. What else do we need to discuss? Ah, yes. I need the right to travel. Ah, well, there's one small traditional formality. After the Great Uprising, Haven agreed that it would not send a major force up the pilgrimage road into the mountains without asking permission. From the Rasa of the Gentle Coast, me. Just a formality, mind you. I mean, the four of us are not a major force. Although I guess we are a force to be reckoned with. Well, I request permission as Prince of Haven to travel throughout the Rokaj. Rasa Elha smiles. I'm honored by the request. I formally declare that you have permission to travel the pilgrimage road. I think that is everything then. Really? Okay, I was expecting more difficulty, somehow. So, the pilgrimage road? It is the main north-south road going through our land. It starts north of Lascara and is marked by huge pairs of standing stones erected by the Low Dargans in centuries past. It leads to the Cronus Woods, then the Low Darga, and finally the High Letha. And finally, I wish to give you a humble bit of tribute, as expected for a visitor of such importance. What sort of tribute? We are a trading port, and we gather a lot of wealth as such. We will have building materials directed to your forts, wood and stone to help you rebuild your defenses, and finally, please consult our library. Ah, yes, we were told about that. She points to the door to the northeast. The Rokaj has its own researches and its own arts of war. We hope you will learn some valuable skills while you are here. And that concludes the stuffy formalities. I am sure that there is much you want to know. Sure. I'd like to know more about the Gentle Coast, I guess, although I feel like I've already learned most of what there is to know about it. Of course, we are one of the 4 provinces of Rokaj, the lowest one on the coast. We are the safest province, the wealthiest because of our ingenuity and hard work. Because of our prosperity, we are the envy of the other provinces. They are painfully jealous of us. What resources do you produce? Well, some food, some wood, not much in terms of raw materials. We produce trade, we produce knowledge. The other provinces dig up iron or chip stone, menial work. We control the ports, so we are the ones who turn it into wealth. I mean, they would if they had the option to, I'm sure. This is the safest province. Of course, we have risen above the constant savagery and raids and clan warfare that plague the highlands. We will be seen as civilized people in the eyes of the outside world. The other provinces envy you? Of course they do. We are safer, more civilized, and wealthier. In turn, they cling to their backward ways. They constantly whine about us. They say we are not true to the ways of the row. False. Every row has every row has a mountain within. Us as much as all of them. Every row is a mountain? It's not exactly what she says, but what she said. That is what we believe. Inside me, inside all of us, is gentle knowing, working, and deep truth. The balance of the 3 makes a row. Gentle knowing, working, and deep truth. Okay. As you travel, you should read our writings. Look around this hall. There are some books you might find illuminating. Are you true to the ways of the Rokaj? She sits up extra straight. I'm absolutely true. There are moments where I fear I am the truest row. It is a great burden. I will carry it. Okay. What faults have they found with you? Why would I ask all these things? I don't know. They think we are decadent. We don't fight enough. We don't waste enough of our time in squabbles and duels of honor and raiding. They don't see that their old world is past and Haven brings a new, better way. I mean, if it brings just less armed conflict overall, I'd like to agree that it is better, at least in that way. But oh well. Tell me about the other provinces. They are the Cronus Woods, the Low Darga, and the High Letha. You will have to visit all of them for a full diplomatic tour, I'm afraid. All of them have rebelled against Haven in the past. All pretend to be calm for now. Tell me about the Cronus Woods. A heavily forested region to the north and west, an enchanted land. Their forest has a natural magic in it, so they worship it, of course, in their backwards way. A good source for wood, precious amber, and the products of the iron mines. So they do produce wood? I thought they specifically didn't, because all of their trees were sacred or something. Well, maybe not all of them. Tell me about the Low Darga. The rocky hills to the northeast. Builders, stoneworkers, clannish brutes warped by the dry, rocky lands they inhabit. A lot of the raiders who attacked you were from there. It is their way. Tell me about the High Letha. Our highest peak, our hardest people. It is a remote land, lightly populated. It is also a land of ghosts. The Lethans drink the quicksilver they mine to speak with their spirits, sort of a mad place. They see themselves as the judges of the Rokaj, the keepers of our true spirit. They look down on us, literally and metaphorically. Tell me about the Rasas. We are the 4 leaders of our 4 provinces. Don't think of us as kings and queens, though. We don't have that much power. The Rokaj is a land of clans, fighting and joining and fighting again, an ancient impossible tangle. Our main jobs are dealing with outsiders, settling the more difficult disputes between clans, and being moral leaders. We keep the deep truth when life makes it easy to forget it. How did you become a Rasa? Oh, it is a process. The clans put forward their candidates. There is a long period of negotiation and argument. Occasionally, the Geld Naz is paid to rid us of a troublesome applicant. The Geld Naz, huh? Okay, first I hear of that name or title. Finally, the clan leaders ascend to Prova Krug to have a final argument and select the new Rasa. Okay, maybe that is in that highest region that's not part of any of the provinces. Tell me about the clans. Some are tiny families, some are clumps of dozens of people. Some clans like mine are huge, sprawling affairs with hundreds of family members and histories that go back centuries. Okay. I'd like to know more about the other Rasas, I guess. I would rather not say. I do not like them. They do not like me. I could not give you an honest account. Okay, I mean, that's honest at least. You will meet them soon enough, if you carry out your mission. Alright, you mentioned deep truth? Ah, yes. The deep truth is what any Ro truly believes. When outsiders invade us, we store the true ways of our people in our hearts. We can say whatever we need to say to survive, as long as our deep truth is held within. Okay. So the Rokaj will always lie to me. Or rather, I'm never going to know whether they lie to me or not. No, not always. When doing business, we speak plain. Unless, of course, there's a reason not to. However, when talking to a Havenite, we may tend to say what you want to hear. Our true beliefs need to be a private thing. And what is your deep truth? Wow, why would I... This is obviously not a thing you ask. Not only because it's probably impolite, but also because we're just not gonna get a useful answer out of it. But yet again, the game does not give me an option not to be an idiot. Rosa Elha smiles. Oh, I am but kidding. The deep truth is a practice of the barbaric highlands. We of the Gentle Coast have been civilized by trade and commerce with the outside world. We don't need such elaborate mental games. Right. That's exactly what someone hiding their deep truth would say. So, you don't need a deep truth? No. We have power, wealth, and security. Hiding one's deep truth is a game for the weak. Down here, we're proud members of the Empire of Haven. We don't need to hide anything. But if you had a secret deep truth, isn't that what you would say to conceal it? Okay, maybe we're not as much of an idiot. Rasa Elha is startled, but only for a moment. Then she laughs. You'll learn fast, Prince. I think you have nothing to worry about when you talk to the other Rasas. Anything else? Okay. I guess she approved, and maybe picking that option somehow helps my cause in the long run. We'll see. Or maybe we'll never learn. I'd like to... Wait. Was there more to learn about the Gentle Coast? No. We asked about that, then we asked about the Rasas. Let's talk about my mission. Yes, a full diplomatic mission. You must interact with both your vessel and the Havenites who control it. You must evaluate your 3 governors to see if they are competent. You must make sure the Rasas have no pressing petitions. Okay. Well, I guess that's all I need. Rasa Elha rises. Then I wish you the best of journeys. It is good that you are here. Good that this mission is taking place. In the end, Prince, you may save us foolish Ro from ourselves. Again. Oh. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more than 2 pieces of wood, or 2 units of wood and 1 unit of stone. Specifically, of course, I would have preferred some actual quicksilver. That would have been nice, but no such luck. Just a simple, formal tribute, I guess. And even though this episode has become rather long, I'd rather finish off all of my business in this place, so I can just move on and start going on some more adventures next time. So we're going to do some reading. This is an old, thick tome bound in leather. You flip through it. It is a record of magical and war research in the Rokaj collected by the Erudiko. Much of it is incomprehensible. a lot of it you already know. A bookmark indicates one battle technique that is very interesting. You take some time to study it. You can now train the ability Shield Shatter. Oh, okay, so that's how you gain some abilities. Cultural... wait, Shield Shatter? Yeah, there it is. Right, okay. So it doesn't immediately stand out as being trainable now, but of course we don't currently have any training points. Okay. Extra damage and make the foe vulnerable. Right, so just a counterpart to the blinding blow that weakens the enemy's attack. Okay, fair enough. So not all of these are purchased for these resources. Craft items and abilities at the Tower of the Erudico. Okay, so I guess some are just free and we'll find them in books like this, or maybe get them from people as quest rewards and whatnot. And some we'll have to, well, craft. I'm not really sure how you craft an ability, but, you know, we'll learn soon enough. Treaty of Vassalage between Haven and the Rokaj, year 341. Here is outlined the vassalage contract between the mighty Empire of Haven and the humble Rokaj, between King Sava of Haven and Rasa Gorinan of the High Letha, speaking for her land. Haven declares that the Rokaj is a full vassal with all protections included. An attack on the Rokaj is an attack on us. Thieves and raiders in the Rokaj are an offense to Haven and will be removed. Full trade between our powers is guaranteed. In return, the Rokaj grants Haven full movement in their territories and full consultation on any political matters. Land for 7 forts will be provided for Haven, and the Ro will protect the security of these lands. All crimes committed by Havenites will be judged by Havenites. Crimes of the Rokaj will be judged by Haven if Haven expresses a wish for this in a reasonable amount of time. This agreement will last as long as Haven and the Rokaj exist as independent peoples. So agreed in sacred bond by both parties in the year 341. Okay. Nothing here. And... oh, another book. One is a mountain. The most important principle for understanding the Rokaj is that every person there sees his or her soul as a mountain. It has 3 elevations: the gentle base, the busy slopes, and the remote and untouchable peak. The base of the mountain is knowing. These gentle lands are where knowledge is stored. It is the most accessible level of the Ro's minds, where different ideas and principles are exchanged with other. Okay. One another or something? Who knows? Or with other principles and ideas. The slopes of the mountains are where working takes place. This is where the Ro plan their lives. Hunting, building, crafting, fighting, raiding families. What? Why would you raid families? Expanding. Working is influenced by knowing and deep truth, but it only cares about safety and survival. The peak of the mountain is deep truth. Kind of, I don't know, counterintuitively. The peak is the deep truth. Oh well. Where a Ro keeps deeply held principles. Or highly held principles. Why don't they call it the high truth? That would make more sense with this image, but okay. This is the most remote part of the mind. The deep truth is kept hidden away, hidden from invaders and oppressors. Haven can force a Ro to say its truth. Haven can force a Ro to say its truth, but the deep truth remains safely hidden within, forever untouched. Haven can force a Ro to say its truth? No, can't, right? Also, why it's? Why not there? His or her? I don't know. Okay. Nothing new there. Oh, this is not ours. So there is a concept of property, of stealing or not stealing. Okay, never mind then. Obviously, I'm not going to steal from them. That would just be rude and potentially punishable. So, yeah. Okay. So only one of the books gave us something, you know, some actual reward, but I suppose would have been greedy to expect more than that. Not entirely sure if I'm going to invest in this particular skill anytime soon. I mean, it's neat, but I think it's probably more worthwhile to at least reach the highest tier of our chosen main, you know, skill tree for these passive bonuses. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Eventually, of course, we're going to have plenty of points to go around, so yeah. Anyway, so this was a pretty productive visit, I must say, giving us a lot of quests. I was really expecting, well, I mean, obviously I was led to expect some sort of, you know, follow-up main quest that we would have to perform for, or complete for the Rasa here, but I guess this first one was a freebie, and yeah, so that was just really just a formality. Well, we have what we came for. In fact, a lethal petition. No, wait. The quest. I guess the quest was completed about coming here and asking for passage, for the right of passage. Huh, yeah. Don't know if we got any experience for that. Oh, actually, yeah, we're extremely close to leveling up, so I think we must have gained a bunch of experience, actually. Nice. We might even level up on our next expedition just from killing enemies. In fact, we probably will. So that's fun. Of course, leveling up while in the field doesn't actually do much for us. But, yeah, anyway. We are going to... I'll probably just head back to Port Osborne to pick up those papers now that there shouldn't be any enemies left in the area. And then we'll see. I don't know, I guess I'm probably just going to start with the High Letha claim. Also, conveniently, because that is the one that is going to give us Quicksilver, so that makes sense to prioritize. Then more stone from this one, right? Iron would be more valuable, but I guess it's not an option, so... yeah. More stone it is. And then eventually the Erodico Ruins. Obviously, I'm not expecting to be able to finish all of those in just one go in just one episode, but we'll see how far we can get. For the time being, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye bye.